What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
I am Brandon. Alongside me always is Andrew. Today, we've got a really cool review for you. It is 1986's Cobra.
Oh, yeah.
Sylvester Stallone. And I just watched this for the first time last night in probably maybe over 10 years, I'd say. So, been a long time since I've seen this movie. This movie is so kick-ass for anybody who has not seen it. So this was, like I said, 1986. George P. Cosmatos is what you said, or
Cosmatos.
Cosmatos. You know what? Cosmatos is cooler. But you've got Sylvester Stallone, obviously. Brigitte Nielsen was his wife or girlfriend at the time.
She was a squeeze at the time because I was doing a little bit of research, and I guess Sylvester Stallone was telling the cinematographer that they needed to speed up some of these shots. He said, if you'd quit playing grab ass with the lead lady and showing off to your bodyguards, we could probably get these shots done a lot faster.
This was, $25 million budget. Brought in $160 million, so not too bad. Yeah. And it's a brisk 89 minutes too, so it's actually a pretty good length for a movie.
Speaking on that though, originally this was like 2 hours or just over 2 hours, and they cut out a lot of the gore. And somewhere there's a work print version of this that's pretty rough. And if anybody out there has that work print, send that to me and Brandon. We want to see it.
Oh, because for sure.
They cut out all the stuff that would have gave them an X rating, like all the deaths and all the gnarly stuff. So,
nice.
Yeah, definitely want to see that.
And there's tons of killing and tons of, no one was safe, which I can imagine with, you've got a night slasher as the murderer, as the main bad guy. And he was cutting people up, women, men, all kinds of people. So I can imagine there was going to be plenty of gore and blood. It's more of a cult classic movie now. I don't know if would you call it a B movie or just?
Probably not. I think it is a cult movie though.
Yeah. Was this? I think the screenplay. Yeah, the screenplay was by Sylvester Stallone too. He wrote the screenplay for this. And what'd you say this was based off of? Fair Game.
So yeah, the book Fair Game. Originally, they'd wanted him to do Beverly Hills Cop, which of course was a comedy, and it's Stallone, so he wanted to make it an action thing and rewrote it based on Fair Game, and just made it way over the top. And the studio rejected it, and Eddie Murphy got Beverly Hills Cop, the funny version anyway.
Yeah. And
then we got this a couple years later, which I'm fine with.
Yeah. Well, this movie starts off with a bang. Pun intended. You've got a mass shooting at a supermarket. He held up hostages, and of course they call in. They got this hostage situation. They call in Cobra, Marion Cobretti, and he goes in there and he takes care of business pretty quick.
Yeah. His dialogue in the thing is completely over the top.
For sure.
You're the disease and I'm the cure. I'm surprised he didn't say clean up on aisle 5, but but that whole scene is kick ass. That supermarket scene.
Yeah. So I think he was part of the cult too, wasn't he? I think he ended up being a part of that cult too. So basically, they're looking for this night slasher who's a part of this Darwinism cult or something. It's like they basically want to eradicate the weak people and
the strong survive.
Only the strong survive, and so they just murder the hell out of people. They usually find random victims, a lot of them women, on the side of the road at night on their car, and they bum rush them, and then he hacks and slashes them to death. Brigitte Nielsen's character, during one of these murders, catches them. She doesn't see the murder. She doesn't see what's going on. She just sees him standing in the road and freaks her out. He freaks her out and basically locks eyes with her. He marks her at this point. They find out. Luckily for them, they have an inside man, in this case, an inside woman, who's in the police force, who basically can tell them everything they need to know, which always keeps them, one step ahead of Sylvester Stallone, Cobra, and the rest of the cops when they're trying to protect Brigitte Nielsen's character here.
And she's part of that inner circle too. So
yeah, and she's part of that too. which Bridget Nielsen was like just a model, I guess, just a random model in this
Yeah.
movie, and just wrong place, wrong time, basically. But Cobra's a badass. Um, really not much else to the plot. Just a cult killing people, and Cobra's got to try to figure out who they are and track them down and take care of them, and all while protecting Bridget Nielsen's character, which I keep saying her name because her name escapes me in this movie. Ingrid.
It might as well be Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah, just call her Brigitte. I mean, come on. Lord. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to like the review portion?
No. There's so many cool things about in the script though that I like just the little parts like he's part of the zombie squad, the cops that go out at night and do things their way. I like that little bit about, and we'll get into characters and stuff, but I like how they give the side characters like his partner Gonzalez, like he's a junk food junkie and stuff, just little things to do. I thought a lot of attention to detail was put into that, and I like that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, and I do like that constant struggle with Cobra and his partner versus the rest of the cops and like the chief and all that. They're always like, you're always doing things your way. People are dying, just shit's getting destroyed, and you just don't give a shit.
Yeah. How about is Andrew Robinson Monty in this movie? He was Scorpio from Dirty Harry. He's the one that's always at odds with Cobretti. It's kind of cool seeing him be a cop in a movie like this.
Yeah, there's another Art LaFleur's in this
Art
too.
LaFleur, one of our favorites.
He's Captain. Yeah, one of our favorites. He's Captain Sears.
Damn it, McNulty.
Damn it, McNulty. And Brian Thompson is the Night Slasher. Brian Thompson, for those of you maybe that name doesn't ring a bell, he's this big brute dude. You've seen him in everything, probably, especially 80s, 90s. He was the bad guy in almost all of them. He's Buffalo Bob and Joe Dirt. Or
hey, he puts the Joe Dirt in the hole.
Yeah, he lets the dog lick him in his mouth. He was that punk in Terminator. He was on Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, the first 2 episodes. He's been in all kinds of stuff. What else was he in? He was Shao Kahn.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
He was Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the worst movie of the mid 90s. He was in Lionheart, all kinds of stuff. But obviously a very scary looking dude. Yes. And very well cast in this movie. Yes. I thought it was very good.
I've recently sent you guys a podcast to listen to. He's talking about how this character, it was really hard to shake this character from him. It's kind of like he likened it to being in a car wreck, how you feel after, for weeks at a time. Like it was really hard for him. Being the Night Slasher took a toll on him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Just had to get into that killer mood.
Right.
So, we spoke about lighting and stuff in the Double Impact review. I wanted to make note of that in this movie. You notice a lot of neon lights in this movie. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of neon light placements in this movie. So I thought that was a pretty interesting style, like a choice. I know it was mid 80s, but it also just seemed like it was more than normal.
Yeah, I do like the color choices in this movie a lot. When he comes home that first time, he pushes those guys out of the way with his Mercury. And yes. I love the color of the sky, the contrast of everything. Everything's just really, really bright and cool looking.
Yeah. And you can see even like in our background picture there, for those watching this, the color placements are very good in this movie. I think overall it's a really good looking film. It's a very mid 80s over the top action film.
So I enjoy it. That cinematographer was right in taking his time setting up shots.
Absolutely. What'd you think about the action and the suspense in this movie?
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed. I don't know if I can pick a favorite action scene. There were just so many good ones. One I did want to talk about before you watched this last night. I said, hey, there's a scene in this movie that will remind you of Halloween 2. Did you find it?
The busting through the door in the hospital?
The hospital scene. Yeah. I really liked that. The lighting, how dark it was.
Yeah. In fact, that was a really good sequence altogether, him trying to track her down the hospital. And I thought it was actually kind of interesting. She was able to get through that other side, that other door, And how about her intelligence to hit the fire alarm
Right.
to bring everybody out, and which is the difference in Halloween 2 and this. There were plenty of people in that hospital at night.
Yeah.
They were just all in their rooms, but they came out with that fire drill.
Yep. I liked it. I liked the chase, even though some of it was ridiculous. Where he's going after the night slasher, and they're on two different levels of a parking garage, and he fires that Mercury out of the second story, and
Yes, yes.
at one point he completely slams it in reverse and blows up a truck
Yeah.
with that machine gun. Just, for what reason, I don't know. It was the 80s, but it was cool.
Very over the top. It's very over the top. But and of course, you can't forget these old action movies, how not only how accurate the good guys are when they shoot, but also how they seem to have unlimited ammo. They just
right.
They go through 200 or 300 rounds before they finally reload on screen.
Yeah. That the whole finale of this movie where they're there at that that hideout, going down the highway in the back of the truck. I don't think he ever reloads in that scene, taking out bikers.
He does. He did one time, but it was much later. Like he wasted so many people before they finally cut to him putting a new magazine in.
Yeah,
but which is the gun he's holding in the background of this picture here in our background. What else to say about this? We got I think the action, the casting was superb. I thought the acting was actually pretty good. Even the dialogue was mostly fun all the way through this movie.
Yeah. I like, a movie like this, you don't expect good acting or dialogue, but I thought it was there. There's some, I think because a lot of things were cut out of this movie, the night slashers people make some dumb choices in this movie. They can't seem to kill her in that parking garage, and they're hitting pipes and everything. But
yeah, he swung the axe and hit the
sprinkler.
Hit the sprinkler system. This goose. I mean, they didn't do that for the night slasher, for Brian Thompson's character, just the goons.
Yeah.
But yeah, you think for a group of people who seem to be ahead of the curve because of the inside man or woman, they would do a lot better than they do, and they don't. But of course, Sly, he's amazing in this.
Yeah, he's got, like I said, all those one-liners, and then there at the end, and of course Brian Thompson saying pig and spitting everywhere.
He said pig a lot at the end there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, what did he say though? Because what did he tell him though? He's like, you can't. I have rights. You can't. You're not going to just shoot me. And I can't remember. I watched last night. I can't remember what he said, but he basically said, yeah, that doesn't. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
and just however he said it, and then went to shoot him. Of course, he was stopped by the woman, but they got into a nice little altercation, a fist fight, and I like the way he ended him though.
Yeah,
he lifted him up on that hook, kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre style, and then slung him into the fire. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I liked all the locations in this movie. I thought they were really cool.
I did too.
I like that shot when they finally decide to let Cobra in on it, and they meet in that empty parking lot, and you see the skyscrapers behind them.
I was going to say that, John. I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot about it. That was a really cool shot.
Yeah,
because you kind of had this upward angle towards the skyscrapers.
Yes,
and the skyscrapers really stood out behind them. Looked like they were like right there, and they were all in that. That was a really cool shot.
I like the hospital. Yeah, I like just about all the locations in this thing. They're at the finale when they're driving past that orchard or that grove, whatever, shooting everybody. That was kind of an interesting choice. This real serene place where this bad stuff's happening. The music, for the most part, I liked. I really like that "Angel in the City" song.
Yeah,
that one that she's modeling to. This was, of course, the '80s in a Stallone movie, so you had to have a musical montage. So.
Yeah, and that was a good montage. The only thing was, the camera cuts during that were really weird, because at first, before they were really showing her, because they were cutting to him and they would cut back to her modeling and different wigs and outfits, stuff like that, and getting her picture taken. But they kept cutting to that robot that she was next to. So before you even seen her, you didn't like, what the hell is this robot here? It's like this shitty looking robot.
Yeah.
And so like there's a few stylistic shots there that like camera cuts that I thought edits were really weird.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just it didn't take me out of it completely, but I noticed it. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Let's not do this.
The one place in this movie where I felt like the music failed is the very end. You've got right there as they ride off on this bike. You've got this. It sounds like Bruce Springsteen's "Glory Days" or something, and it's too happy for what just transpired. This grisly scene. You know, I think maybe you go back and play "Angel in the City" or something as they're riding off. Or
that was a really cool shot, though. I love the shot of them coming towards the camera and then going around the camera. That was a good ride off into the sunset kind of shot. Except you were, you know, it was the opposite. You were coming towards the camera. I like that a lot.
Didn't fit the scene.
I agree with you that. I agree with you. The music just was not quite there for that. Was there anything else you wanted to say about it?
Just as a whole, I think this movie's, well, I think it's found its fan base, you know, with the cult thing, but I think it's really underrated. And I think people kind of look at it as this dumb action movie, which it kind of is, but it's, I think it's really fun. I want to give it a 3 3/4 out of 5.
Yeah. I'd give it a 3 3/4 out of 5 too.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite a 4, but it's, man,
if it would be a 4, it would be a 4 if she didn't drown her fries in ketchup like she did.
How awful. What did I say, 20 plus seconds? I timed it at one point, and I want to say it's like 25 seconds or something.
Yeah, she just kept.
and
you need a life preserver.
The amount of ketchup from that bottle, which should be empty at that point, does not match the amount of ketchup on those fries.
No, because when you look at the fries with the ketchup on it, it didn't look as bad as it probably was, you know, in that other cut. I love ketchup on my fries, but wow, that was rough.
Slide, just leave her. And now I want the night slasher to get her.
Yeah, for sure. Sick. Yeah. But no, 3 1/4 out of 5 is a good. That's a good number. I think it's it's gone up my ranking after last night watch again. It's gone up my ranking in Sly movies. I don't know where exactly. We'll have to do a ranking or a tier list soon for Sly movies, and we'll kind of see, because there's too many to pick from. But this is out, like we were talking about the other day, actually, you know, outside of Rocky and Rambo, even maybe this is up there. Yeah. It's fun.
What do we say? Copland?
Copland was another one that I really love. You know, of course, the Expendables, but that's kind of more of an ensemble movie. I'm trying to think of anything else. Definitely this and Copland stand out, though. If you're looking past Rambo and Rocky, for sure. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up. What else we got coming? We got a versus coming, right?
Yeah. We're going to do. We're talking The Hills Have Eyes, the original,
the remake,
2006, and we've got Leviathan coming for Warehouse B. I think that's all we've got really in the works right now.
Okay, well, we'll get some more going, but yeah, that we got enough to last a few more weeks as far as releases. But yeah, guys, check Cobra out if you haven't already. It's not really on anything right now. You'd have to find it Amazon, or I rented it on Vudu for like $2.99. It's like $3. Totally worth it if you haven't seen it, or wait for it to go on sale and get it digital, whatever, however you want to do it. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it though. It's worth it. It's definitely one of his top action movies. Yeah. If you just want something mindless and fun. And there's, like I said, there's a little bit of suspense there too with the whole night slasher thing.
Yeah. And if anybody out there, like I said, has that work print version, hook a brother up. We want to see it.
For sure. I'd love to see that. So, all right, guys, until next time, we're out of here.